Welcome to the presentation of the Module 4 Protecting the Environment, which is part of the Safety Competence area. Here you will find the content for this module. We will begin with a short introduction about the topic and list the learning objectives of the module. Then, we will present you the impact of e-waste and ways to reduce it. Afterwards, we will suggest you some tools to be incorporated in your digital habits so you can make sure you are protecting the environment while using your digital tools. Digital devices contribute to greenhouse gas emissions and climate change in multiple ways. First, the production of digital devices requires significant amounts of energy, including the mining and processing of raw materials, the manufacturing process, and transportation. This energy consumption leads to the emission of greenhouse gases, such as carbon dioxide and methane, which trap heat in the atmosphere and contribute to global warming. Additionally, the use of digital devices also requires energy, primarily from electricity generation, which further contributes to greenhouse gas emissions. Finally, the disposal of electronic waste, or e-waste, can also lead to significant environmental impacts, including the release of greenhouse gases during the decomposition process. Therefore, it is important to consider the environmental impact of digital technologies throughout their life cycle, from production to disposal, in order to reduce their contribution to greenhouse gas emissions and climate change. In this module, you will learn how to dispose of electronic devices safely, recognize the environmental impacts of digital technologies and their use, and protect the environment from the impact of disposing digital devices. The global e-waste problem has significant implications for both environmental and human health. E-waste, or discarded electronic devices, contains hazardous materials such as lead, mercury, cadmium, and brominated flame retardants, which can contaminate the air, water, and soil if not properly managed. These hazardous materials can cause a range of health problems, including respiratory and neurological disorders, birth defects, and cancer. Additionally, the informal recycling of e-waste in many developing countries often involves unsafe and unregulated practices, such as open burning and acid stripping, which release toxic pollutants into the environment and can harm the health of workers and local communities. The global e-waste problem is also significant from a resource perspective, as many of the materials used in electronic devices, such as rare earth metals, are non-renewable and finite resources. Therefore, it is essential to promote responsible e-waste management practices and increase awareness of the environmental and health impacts of e-waste to mitigate its negative effects on both the environment and human health. There are several ways we can protect the environment from the impact of disposing digital devices. Here are a few examples. Responsible disposal. The proper disposal of electronic waste, or e-waste, is critical to protecting the environment. This can be achieved through responsible recycling practices, which ensure that hazardous materials are properly managed and that valuable resources are recovered and reused. Donation and refurbishment. Another way to reduce the impact of e-waste is by donating or refurbishing electronic devices that are still in working condition. This can help extend the life of these devices and reduce the need for new ones, thus reducing the environmental impact of manufacturing and production. Reduce, reuse, and recycle, following the principles of the 3 Ps, reduce, reuse, and recycle, is an effective way to minimize the environmental impact of disposing digital devices. By reducing consumption, reusing devices whenever possible, and recycling materials when no longer needed, we can conserve resources and minimize waste. Promote energy efficiency. Using energy-efficient digital devices and reducing unnecessary energy consumption can help minimize the environmental impact of digital technologies. This can be achieved through practices such as turning off devices when not in use, using power-saving modes, and purchasing devices with high energy efficiency ratings. By following these practices, we can help protect the environment from the impact of disposing digital devices and promote sustainable and responsible use of technology. Here you can find tools that you might find useful to help you protect the environment while disposing your devices. First, local recycling centers, then Joule bag, and afterwards, carbon footprint and energy calculators. All of them can be found online, so you can check their features and give it a try. Local organizations in almost all countries organize and collect electronic appliances, light bulbs and batteries, so they can be recycled and reused. In Belgium, there is Recoupel, in which you can find a collection point according to the material you want to dispose, and bring your waste to the nearest station. Joulebug is the easy way to make your everyday habits more sustainable, at home, work, and play. Discover how you and your friends can use resources, without using them up, with this newly designed app. Joulebug organizes sustainability tips into actions that you buzz in the app when you do them in real life. Learn more about each tip with easy-to-understand impact stats, bonuses, how-to videos, and helpful links. Encourage your friends by sharing how you're making a difference and following what they're up to in the feed. Join local communities for the latest sustainable news, limited edition actions and badges, plus get access to local challenges. There are many calculators that allow you to estimate the emissions of households, schools, and even web pages. These are nice tools in order to create awareness on that topic and compare the energy consumption of different devices, appliances, and digital resources. Here are some examples of calculators that might be useful. Carbonfootprint.com, website carbon.com, and 2030 calculator. But you can find many more online. All the tools offered aim to give you support in protecting the environment while getting the most of digital devices. We hope that this is just the beginning of your environmentally friendly digital path. Thank you very much for your attention.